How are you guys doing? We are going to be live reacting to the Ubisoft Forward press conference. This is the kickoff to E3. For those of you who may not know, E3 is a huge video game industry show that also showcases a lot of upcoming games that are coming out for the coming year. I've I've never actually live reacted. I normally just watch it on my own time. So this will be the first year that I actually get to react to this live, and I'm tremendously excited about it. Um, so they actually started their kind of pre-show about an hour ago. So we're going to be looking at some kind of like pre-roll kind of things that are going on.
1986, Brittany, France. The Guillemot brothers catch a glimpse of the future and launch Ubisoft. No internet, no emails. Just a bunch of people and a passion for technology and games. Today, Ubisoft still has an eye on a future where 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't even been invented yet. Since Ubisoft can't predict the future, we need people ready to forge it. Talented people who aren't afraid to create the unknown. And Amandine Lower is one of those people. This is Amandine.
Coucou.
She hates interviews.
Sorry about that.
But we'll find a way, because it's worth it. I could tell you she's a junior developer or graduate of a video game school, but I won't, because she's not. Instead, I'll tell you the story of an unexpected career path. Well, I'm the narrator, by the way. I don't really exist, but I know Amandine and I know Ubisoft. She'll correct me if I get anything wrong.
I can do that.
Amandine loves arts and crafts. She draws illustrations and character art. She can crochet tiny cute animals. She studied languages at the University of Chambéry, France. She lived in New Mexico and Japan. In each new place, she started off from scratch, totally lost, barely understanding a word, and she loved it.
I can't say it was always easy, but I love developing new skills to get out of tricky situations.
This is Peo. He hates turning his camera on during calls.
But I'll make an exception for you.
But he'll make an exception for us. Peo is Amandine's first real boss. He recruited her in 2016 for an internship in communications, even if she didn't have a degree in communications. She seemed daring and resourceful. He trusted her immediately. And yes, Amandine plays video games, but lots of people at Ubisoft play games. Many don't, and that's just how Ubisoft likes it. Amandine managed Ubisoft's internal weekly newsletter. She felt this job was a perfect match for her independent spirit and her taste for new challenges. But she'll never forget Peo saying, "Push the button, Amandine. It will only be sent to 11,000 people." It's 20,000 now. Props to Maureen, she's now the one in charge of sending the email.
Easy peasy.
This is Colleen. She's a content communications manager. She helped Amandine build on what she learned with Peo when she hired her next.
She wasn't afraid to break with convention, and I really encourage that.
Because it provides a new way of doing things. Amandine started organizing conferences and writing speeches for Ubisoft speakers. She was learning something new again, and she loved it.
I know it sounds weird, but she's telling the truth. I love a good challenge.
But in Amandine's head, a little seed had been planted. An idea was forming. She was so close to the people making the games she loved. 2 years later, it became clear. She wanted to be a line designer. Amandine reached out to Elizabeth. She was leading teams of line designers at the time.
The way she talked about the game she liked was so passionate and professional. She was even able to connect an IP to a player journey and talk about those tiny details that can sometimes make a huge difference on the quality of the game.
Amandine started helping production teams design the content of their games. She's one of the bridges between the top management at HQ and the production teams in Ubisoft studios around the world. She is an interpreter, as she has always been.
Yes, being a line designer is all about communication.
You can always reinterpret your skills in a brand new way. Looking back, without Peo and Colleen, she would have missed a key step. That's it. Thanks, Amandine, for your inspiring story.
Merci.
Before I go, did you like this story? Head over to ubisoft.com to hear more just like this one and maybe even take your first step towards creating the unknown with Ubisoft.
Ubisoft
And
is
I really encourage that.
Ubisoft has always been one of those companies that I've had a lot of respect for. Even though they haven't always got everything right like some companies.
Easy peasy.
I really like Ubi as a company. Why cynical, Yak? I'm very curious as to why you're cynical about this. Because I genuinely believe that that's how her story went. from my little bit of time working in the game industry, like actually working for Nintendo, I had a friend of mine there who worked with some of these publishers, and he worked with Ubi, and he actually said that Ubi is one of his favorite studios because they're very much as advertised. So it's about to cut back to another like someone driving. Okay, so here's the thing about I can see that, but I think that's more based on the fact that since Ubisoft is a French company, there's a lot of people at headquarters that are, but they do have studios all over the world. So that's one thing I have to give them. So okay, games we're looking forward to for this broadcast. We're going to have. I know they're going to have some information about Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm a huge fan of. If you watch my streams at all, you know that I'm a huge fan of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm hoping to hear some new information about Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is their PvE game, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I'm also a huge fan of The Division. I know that there's going to be a new Division game coming out that's The Division Heartland, which is supposed to be free to play, so I'm curious to know how they're going to change a game that has been traditionally a AAA $60 title into a free to play game. So I'm very curious about that, and I'm also curious about where it's going to be in terms of the story, because you had the original Division, which happened at the beginning of the outbreak, and then you had the Division 2, which happened a couple of years after. So I'm wondering how Heartland is going to play into all of that. I also am wondering, and not only in terms of time frame, but where it's going to take place. With a title like Heartland, you would assume it's going to take place in the Midwest. So I'm curious about how that's going to go, because one good thing about Ubisoft is that when it comes to their games that are set in a place, they usually will send a team to that place to do recording, to take pictures of the area. For those of you who may not know, when the what was it? I want to say it was Notre Dame. When Notre Dame caught fire, they were actually able to help with the reconstruction because they had full renders of it from Assassin's Creed Unity. Another thing that Ubisoft is really good at is working with other IPs. So I'm like considering Brawlhalla is their original kind of spin on the Smash Brothers kind of gameplay. They've had a lot of guest characters in this game, and I think that Brawlhalla is probably one of the only games that actually could be considered a competitor of Smash Brothers. Now keep in mind, Smash Bros is a juggernaut, and they also are pretty good at licensing characters, but it's interesting to see this in Brawlhalla. That has been a thing that has happened a lot in gaming over the last couple of years. There have been a lot of times where games have kind of crossed over and pulled characters from other parts of pop culture. So in the earlier today, I was hosting an event for Indiecade Horizons, which is an indie development kind of showcase. And one thing that I thought was interesting during one of their presentations, they mentioned that gaming is a $175 billion industry. Billion with a B, as in Bezos. Supervillain levels of money. And I think a large part of that growth over the last 5 years has been, one, gaming kind of being more accepted in the mainstream, which hasn't been a thing for a very long time. And in addition to that, these types of crossovers, which lets you take people from outside of gaming and kind of bring them into a game. And one thing that Ubisoft is really, really good at is knowing which fandoms will fit which games and making sure that they get those crossovers that will pull that audience that would be interested in it. For instance, for Brawlhalla, which is kind of a fun, kind of family-friendly game because it's the same kind of genre as Smash Brothers, which is a party game. They can go with things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They can go with things like WWE or other things like that to bring characters in, Whereas a game like Rainbow Six Siege, they did not only work with things like Resident Evil, they had a Resident Evil skin, and it's rumored that they're going to bring more Resident Evil skins. But in addition to that, they also reached out to like Rick and Morty, the creative director for Ghostwire, I believe her name is. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But they had her do some character designs for some cosmetics in Rainbow Six, because that lines up more with, with Rainbow Six. So Ubi's always been really, really good about that. They also had a crossover in The Division 2 with Resident Evil, which also fits because they're both kind of urban. They're also based
Hello everyone. As you may already know, Ubisoft has been supporting indie studios for many years now. Whether it's on production, innovation, creative, or even financial support, our teams have been supporting indie studios from all over the world. Today, we wanted to use Forward to highlight a selection of indie games we've had the pleasure of supporting recently. Enjoy!
Hi, I'm Sandro, the co-founder of Tucana Interactive, a young independent game development studio based in Berlin, Germany, currently working on Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik is a relaxing strategy and puzzle game where you create an ever-growing idyllic landscape by placing tiles. You can immerse yourself in a beautiful, peaceful and quiet world if you need a break from everyday life. But Dorfromantik also offers a challenge for those who are looking for one. Because to beat the high score, you do not only need to plan ahead, but also place your tiles very strategically. We are the lucky winners for Ubisoft's Entrepreneurs Indie Camp in the German-speaking area, and we are excited for the upcoming acceleration program, where we participate in mentoring sessions and are able to receive marketing support, such as the Indie Game Arena booth at Gamescom. Dorfromantik is already available right now in early access and will go into full release later this year. In addition, we also already have plans for mobile and the Nintendo Switch, so there's a lot still to be discovered. Thank you for your time and to Ubisoft for this great opportunity.
This is a game that I will probably look at getting because it reminds me of a cross between...
Hey, so I'm in Taylor. I'm one of the co-creators of Bravery Network Online, a game by Gloam, which is our studio. Bravery Network Online is a turn-based strategy game. You've got a team of 5 fighters. You're playing against an opponent's team of 5 fighters. And they are, a little bit gay. But if you're not gay, that's okay too. I think that it's a really, really fun world, and I think that the competitive play of it is really solid. We've been working with Ubisoft for a little bit now. We actually are the winners of Ubisoft's 2019 Indie Series run by Ubisoft Toronto. They've helped us out so much over the years. They've given us press support when we launched into early access. They connected us with different folks internally who could help us out, and even to folks outside their company. We have a pretty vibrant Discord community and a lot of folks who've just been enjoying the game, and we're really appreciative of that. Bravery Network Online is in early access now, so feel free to pick it up and send it to some friends. I would really appreciate that, very personally, so thank you. Bye!
And this just highlights what I was just saying. This is why I like Ubisoft.
Hello everyone, I'm David Prinswell, game director on You Suck at Parking. You Suck at Parking is the world's most extreme parking game and probably the only racing game where the goal is to actually stop your car. It's a funny physics-based racer, which doesn't take itself too seriously, but still requires enough skill for you to master the hardest tracks.
We crashed into the Ubisoft design team a while ago and we had some great discussions on You Suck at Parking. They gave us actionable advice and great feedback along the road. And they've been championing the game ever since, so we're super grateful for them.
You Suck at Parking presents you with a ton of varied and surprising levels. The goal is to fill every parking spot before the timer runs out. And don't get too attached to your cars though, because you'll have to respawn a lot. For the competitive players out there, there's leaderboards in every level so you can compete with your friends and the world for those top spots. And for everyone that's feeling creative, we've also included a level editor that features everything that's in the main game, so you can go all out and be creative and make your own tracksuit.
You want to know how much you suck at parking? You can already do so. Download the demo. You can also talk to us, show us your best moves, or talk to other parksters at our Discord. Happy parking!
So, something I'd like to kind of point out. Let's consider E3 and E3 press conferences like the Super Bowl, right? Any commercial spots that are put there then become a really, really, really big deal. because when you consider that this company, which is a AAA game designer, gave spots to their to two indie studios in the 20 minutes right before, which is probably when most people would start looking at this, is phenomenal. The game that they showed, like there were 3 indie games they showed in a row that all look like really, really cool indie games that actually, once this is all done, I will probably want to check out all of those, or at least check out more information on them. The one like kind of landscape building game reminds me of a cross between Islanders and kind of Settlers of Catan, which is kind of cool. Holy shit! Valor Morgulis, thank you for the raid of 13 viewers. How are you live raiders? My name is Alchemist Joker, for those of you who do not know me.
Everyone.
And I'm going to be live kind of reacting to Ubisoft.
The Crew 2, launched in 2018, reaches its third.
If you guys are hungry, you can get some snacks. Type ! snacks in the chat. We'll get some snacks out to all of you.
Every 4 months, a new season.
Thank you for the raid, Valor. Tremendously appreciate you. What were you playing? Like, what were you doing before you came to hang out?
Announced 1 year ago. And for this, I would like to warmly thank our teams here at the studio for their work and commitment despite the COVID-19 context.
Cannot be
but it's also time
understated
to
how hard it is to work on a game during COVID-19. Like, cannot be understated.
That we are now more than 30 million players to have joined the Crew franchise since 2014. And for those who have not joined in yet, what a better time to jump in the Crew 2. First, claim this amazing vehicle for only 1 Crew credit in-game starting today. Also, next week, enjoy 1 event for each major update we released so far in a special
Grayley, how's it going?
Live summit. But it's far from being over, and I'm super happy to announce more season for our
This game's been going on for 4
years
years now.
Will of course be available through Modderflix, new season, and episode.
I don't know why I'm surprised at
but
that.
Enough talk, and enjoy a glimpse of your next Modderflix show.
I don't know why I'm surprised about that. Ubisoft has always been good about supporting games long into their life cycle. I mean, if you consider that Rainbow Six Siege has been out for 5 years now, and they're still releasing new content for it, like, that's nuts. So them supporting this game for 4 years doesn't surprise me at all. It's good to know that you had a great day. Thank you for joining me while you wind down. This is probably going to be more chill than most of my normal streams. Because there's going to be a lot more of me talking and a lot less gameplay. Well, there's going to be gameplay, but not me actively playing. But like I was saying, chat, before those lovely raiders came and kicked in the door. If you consider press conferences like this as like the Super Bowl, right? Any certain time slots are a really, really big deal. So 20 minutes before the stream starts, having 3 indie games in that slot is huge. Oh, hold on. Redeemed Hydrate. Let me go ahead and get that going. Let's do this. Move this over here. Get ready to get that Hydrate redeemed. Thank you for that Hydrate call. Tell me what I missed, chat. Alrighty. Got some water. Lovely, lovely water. Okay, so this is Trackmania, I'm pretty sure. I love that at the beginning of each of their segments, they've just had one of their characters going forward, which is kind of cool considering, Ubisoft Forward. But I also kind of expected them to have some games that had not been announced yet, right? All the games that they've shown so far are games that we know of, so we know what each of these games are. But it's interesting that they haven't snuck anything in yet. 2 billion assassinations. So it's a whole lot of assassinations. Okay. How you doing today, Trey? 34.5 million citizens recruited in Watch Dogs Legion. 10.5 billion kilometers traveled.
Jimmy's in a way that Jimmy's should not be rustled by a car.
1 billion monsters defeated. Okay. 2.3 billion. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Ah, that was an arm. It's a lot of executions. 30.7 billion perfect moves. 160 quadrillion XP gain. 51 million sync shots achieved in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So here's one thing that you have to say. Oh, come on, give it to me. What's the stat from that? 38.8 million bombs diffused. 1.4 billion community challenges completed. $3.1 million raised for charity. Behind it all, it was you, chat. Yes, you. Even you back there. I know you're not giving yourself credit, but you too. You did something to help. See? Alright, so we're 5 minutes out. So here's what I want to know, chat. For those of you that are hanging out in chat, what are you looking forward to seeing from this Ubisoft press conference? Let me know what games you're looking forward to. If you don't play, if you can't think of any Ubisoft games that you play, let me know what games that you've seen so far that you think are interesting. I want to know what you guys are looking forward to as much as what I'm looking forward to. This has got to be, yep, Far Cry 6.
Hey everyone, I'm Latish Delinalden, live producer on Watch Dogs Legion.
Okay.
Back in October 2020, you recruited a resistance, built DedSec, and saved our near-future London.
Okay.
Since then, you have jumped in online modes with friends, dared our tactical ops, and fought for London with Mina. Now, on behalf of the team, I'm proud to give you a taste of what's coming up in Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline.
So they're connecting it to the other Watch Dogs games.
Got a simple job for you, Aiden. Huge payday.
What's the catch?
It's in London. That's where your nephew Jackson lives, right?
Interesting. So they're connecting Watch Dogs Legion to the original Watch Dogs.
Break inside Broken Tech and steal a device giving control over an army of weaponized robots. That thing must not fall into the wrong hands.
Whoa! Easy. Hey, I know you.
Give me that.
This, no.
3.
I need it for a thing.
2.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Okay, I guess we're doing this. Flashback. Interesting. I was wondering if they were gonna combine Watch Dogs Legion with the other Watch Dogs games.
Device stolen by your partner. The one in the stupid mask?
I can find him.
I just don't think I can trust you without some insurance.
That's a problem.
I'm just tired of criminals and con men running the world.
I need you to pay attention.
This might make me pick up Watch Dogs Legion. That is interesting enough that might make me pick up Watch Dogs Legion, because that was cool. I'm a sucker for callbacks. So whenever a game has a callback to something that happened in a previous game or previous characters, I'm always all in on that. So I'm a sucker for callbacks and I'm a sucker for crossovers. So the fact that they're bringing back probably the most memorable character from Watch Dogs 2 and the main character of Watch Dogs 1 is definitely interesting. That sounded like that hurt a lot. That dinosaur went crunch a lot.
How do I tame the deer? Oh, not like that.
Don't lie, chat. You've tried to tame something in a game and killed it. Don't lie, chat.
I feel bad.
7-person kill streak. Hot potato of death. Holy crap. That was kind of... That's a thing you... Oh no. That's what you get. That's what you get. What am I even watching right now? That's Trackmania. Okay, that was dope. That's how you park a car, chat. That's how you park a car. If you gonna park a car, that's how you park a car. Holy shit. All right, chat, here we go. Like a glove. All right, Ubisoft. You got me for the next hour. Let's see what you got for me.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ubisoft Forward. I'm Neelam.
Hello, Neelam.
We're
Hello,
so
Yusuf.
thrilled to be back hosting Ubisoft Forward. Over the next hour, we'll be your guides to all the latest news and exciting announcements coming from Ubisoft.
We've got so much in store for you today, including deeper looks at Far Cry 6, Riders Republic, and Rainbow Six, plus a few other surprises you'll find out about soon enough.
Neelam, I'm excited. We're filming this together. We got this gorgeous set. E3 is back.
Kinda.
But I know why y'all are here. You want to see games, so let's get right into it.
As much as I love your...
Rainbow Six operators are facing off against an evolving and deadly threat. You'll no doubt have noticed that the alien parasite has spread to new areas. It's time to suit up and step into the containment zone.
Here's a deeper look at Rainbow Six Extraction.
That's the title they chose, Rainbow Six Extraction. I was wondering if they were going to stick with Quarantine, but Rainbow Six Extraction is pretty dope.
I used to feel so much peace.
Hibana!
Into the heavens, until a piece of it fell.
That's my girl.
And the nightmare began.
Finka, Doc, Ash.
We thought it could be contained. But it evolved. So we did too.
One of our own is MIA. I need an extraction team, now.
If there's a way to stop them, you will find it. But I know you will find me first.
Okay, the plan. Nomad, secure our exit. I'll take out the nests.
And I'll find Ivana. I have your signal. Let's go.
What is...
We are already out of the nests.
Incoming! Clear the area!
Stand back!
Down.
What is going on with this?
Clock's ticking.
Okay.
I found her. Hey, Banana. Hold on.
That looks like a problem.
I've got company.
Coming through.
Countermeasures.
Check. Make for the exit. An apex. Get down.
Okay.
Ella, look out! I don't have the shot.
Not so fast.
Okay.
Target the breacher. Now's our chance.
Nomad, blow the door. Cover me.
I'm gonna need all of this. I'm gonna need this whole thing.
Hey, you all throwing me a party?
Yeah. Too bad you missed all the fireworks.
Team, it's Ash. We're not done yet. VIP down and...
Okay, September 16th. Hopefully there'll be early access. We will definitely be signing up for the early access for that because that looked dope.
Now, I know you must have a ton of questions after seeing that trailer.
Yes.
And we have answers, as well as a full gameplay walkthrough coming up, so hang tight.
Okay, we'll hang tight.
My name is Richard. I'm your resident community developer coming to you from North Carolina. We're thrilled to be back to give you an introduction to Rainbow Six Extraction.
I cannot express how cool that looks.
With me today in Montreal, I have Bruno Lalonde, our lead technical director, and Alicia Fortier, game designer, to help walk us through. Alicia, what can we tell our players about Extraction?
Extraction is a 1 to 3 player co-op experience.
Okay.
You might think you know what you're getting into since there's going to be some of your favorite Rainbow Six operators, but it's going to be completely different because this time you're not fighting against each other. You're coming together to face an unprecedented, evolving alien threat.
I'm always coming together to
Some of
face
the
an
operators'
unprecedented
abilities,
evolving
gadgets,
alien
and
threat.
tech should feel familiar to Siege players. But this
Okay.
time, as you progress through the game, you'll unlock new ability upgrades and a whole new arsenal specifically designed to take on this new threat.
So the operators we just saw in that trailer are very familiar. But what happened to Hibana?
She got captured. In Extraction, you're always putting it all on the line. If you or a teammate falls during an incursion, you're gonna go missing in action. You can't play MIA operators until they're safely recovered. You
What?
and the squad are gonna have to come back together to get back in there and get them out. Every time you go in the containment zone, you risk losing all your progress and upgrades. So
Ooh.
stay on your toes
That's
and
risky.
weigh every move you make.
That's risky.
Balancing that risk and reward scenario is going to be tough. Bruno, can you tell us a little bit more about the alien threat?
Interesting.
What is it? Who are they? And where do they come
Could
from?
you imagine putting
What
all of
we
that
know
time into
is the
one
Archings
operator
are an
and then
evolved
losing them
form of
because
the
your teammates
parasite
decided to
that
ditch
was
you?
first detected few years ago during the Outbreak event in New Mexico.
Okay, so they're
But
building
a lot
on
has
that.
changed since. The parasite has spread to 3 new regions, emerging in several containment zones within New
I've been
York,
doing good,
San
Dragon. I've been doing
Francisco,
good.
and Alaska. This is what we know so far. Within the containment zones, the alien ecosystem is in a continual evolution, as incubation nests and their sprawling tissue spawn procedurally, taking over different areas of the map
Interesting.
and reaction to the player presence.
And it's
The
procedurally
parasite is
generated.
always spreading, always evolving. But it didn't look too happy about the operators disturbing their new home. What are we facing off against?
Well, the black goo-like sprawl is probably the first thing you will take on. It spreads to the map once your presence is detected, slowing progress and helping the Archings. Some of the other threats you may have seen in the trailer are the long-range spiker, the explosive breacher, the shape-shifting tormentors, and the apex. There's a lot more species of Archings and mutations that have been observed. More to come on that very soon.
Thank you both so much for joining me. I'm really excited to dig into more of the details. We still have crossplay to talk about. Yes, that's right. Extraction will bring everyone together regardless of the platform. And for our Rainbow Six Siege community, we have exclusive unlocks for you in both games. Okay, you've been waiting long enough. Let's take an exclusive first look at some gameplay footage. Here is Rainbow Six Extraction.
Rainbow Six Extraction.
Welcome to Rainbow Six Extraction, the new tactical co-op shooter game where Rainbow Six operators are dropped into alien territory. In today's walkthrough, we're on a mission to investigate anomalies identified at the Orpheus Research Center in Alaska. HQ will provide additional instructions.
There we go.
We need new data on the parasite's underground network. It keeps evolving, adapting. Plant auto trackers on dormant nests. Don't destroy them or we'll lose the trackers.
As a squad of 3, Ella, Alibi, and Sledge will use their operator abilities to complete objectives, assist each other, and obliterate Archeans in their way.
Drone spinning up.
And they just built it in the Rainbow Six engine.
That's a grunt. Easy for a nest to incubate and bring to life, not so easy to eliminate in large numbers.
Converge on location. Nice and quiet.
The enemy reacts to intrusions in their ecosystem, including operators.
Stealth kills?
So stealth tactics are the way to go.
Interesting.
Visual on nest. Place auto trackers for our React scientists.
Auto tracker activated.
Visual hostile.
Auto tracker activated.
The parasite generates sprawl, a substance that connects their whole ecosystem.
Okay.
Alert an Archean, and a nearby nest wakes up too. Archeans move faster in sprawl, but operators get slowed down.
So it's okay. So it's like
The squad can use their React light to see bioluminescent properties in Archeans and in the environment. The contrast helps to better identify targets.
Oh, we going full Rainbow Six destructibility. Okay.
Nest mapping complete. A scientist just gave me the thumbs up. Good job.
Identifying Archean variants helps the team determine the best approach to take them out.
I think that's why they recast some of the operators that they did,
Spotted a root,
Dragon.
it can immobilize anyone in front of it, so Sledge will swing around back.
Take a little nap.
Get out of there before the swarm appears. Don't push your luck.
Emma, go!
That's why they recast some of the voice actors so that they could have them for this game as well.
That was close. Here, the team can regroup and resupply. Airlock doors will open onto the next subzone, which will be tougher than the first.
Okay.
We need tissue samples from those Archies, and we need them gone. Use your React blade.
That looks like it explodes. Yep, it explodes. I wonder if each section has unique kind of objectives in it.
It's right there. React blade, do your thing.
That target is finished.
One down. We're not done yet. That's your target. Don't put it to death just yet. Get that sample.
We've located a spiker.
Okay, so you can
fire
go
all
prone.
the
So
systems
it's
projectile.
all of the same.
Alibi deploys a Prisma hologram.
Deploying the bait.
Interesting. This
The squad
seems
can
so
use React Tech to
interesting.
go further in incursions. The more intel they collect, the more tech they'll have at their disposal to fight off this threat.
But
it's all about
the more you
teamwork to
push your
outsmart
luck,
the
the
enemy.
more your chance of losing an operator. Okay.
Creating a choke point is a good idea to increase the arc mine's efficiency.
Eyes on hostile!
Hey, Eva, how's it going?
That's the way. Keep
Also,
on
thank you for the follow, Eva. I
That's the
tremendously
react
appreciate it.
sensor. Smasher incoming.
Oh, he looks large. He looks very large. He looks very large and very angry. Ah! Hey, look, a glowy bit.
Wow, that did it. Take out the leader. No leader for the Archies to follow.
Another
TFT,
objective
Teamfight
complete.
Tactics.
The squad can either exfil at the extraction point to bring home the latest intel, or move to the next airlock. The third subzone will be the most challenging yet. A true test of both tactical team strategy
Okay,
and
so it's
operational
basically
reflexes.
push your luck.
Some Archeans are responding to an elite as if they're communicating. No way we'd let them mobilize against us. Hunt them down until the elite comes out of hiding.
Interesting. Oh, that makes people invisible. Okay.
The elite will show up any second.
So it is most definitely press your luck. No, it's not the Demogorgon. It's the enemies in this game. It looks like him, but it's a different type of enemy. Okay, so you can get downed as well.
We have an operator in stasis.
An operator is now MIA.
I don't know if you can hear this, but we're mounting a rescue. Hang tight.
Capital, Ella, Tachanka with the old school turret.
You heard it. A rescue mission is underway. React still needs you.
Okay, I have so many questions about this game.
Operators, it's time to unite and stand together against this emerging threat. Squad up with friends in co-op or step into the containment alone.
No, don't step into it alone. Don't go step into it alone. That's a horrible idea.
If you think fighting aliens is tough, try learning guitar.
Straight stick.
Well, that was a segue.
10 years ago, Rocksmith redefined music
Straight stick,
learning
they're talking
by
about you.
introducing the first console game that taught millions how to play guitar.
Whether you're already an expert or just starting
That
out,
was the new Rainbow Six
Rocksmith
thing.
has an
Yeah.
approach that's for everyone. A fun and
So,
interactive way to learn guitar, playing your favorite songs. And in the decade since its release,
One
our
second.
community and its impact have only amplified.
This year, let's turn it up to 11 and see what's next for Rocksmith.
Rocksmith is still going? Of course it is. Ubisoft is notorious for keeping games going. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know. Rocksmith Plus. Okay. Tambourines and spoons, huh? It also lets you tune your guitar? Shredstick, I am curious of what you think of this particular game. Because I would love to see you stream this game. Like this might be one of those like get you as a present type games, because I would be really, really curious to see this. Community help videos. Practice at your own pace. I get that, Dragon, but it's not just tuning your guitar. It's tuning the guitar. It's playing a song. Depending on how big their song library is, could also be a huge selling point. Because if it's a bunch of, the other thing I'm curious about this though is if this actually would let you get around, if this would let you get around like DMCA stuff. Because if you stream this game and then you get DMCA takedowns, like I wonder if that would be an issue. I wonder how they handle the license for that. Would it be something that Ubisoft will kind of cover because they put the license into the game and therefore giving you the ability to stream it? I guess you'd be fine because this would be the same as doing a cover. And covers are traditionally not something that get you into too much trouble. Rocksmith.com/beta. Okay, let's go.
I'm Arthur Von Nagel, producer at Ubisoft San Francisco. And Rocksmith has truly been a dream project for me. As a lifelong gamer and a touring musician, Rocksmith is what I wish I had when I started learning music.
Okay, let's toss
and that's why
that
I'm
one in
thrilled
the
to
chat.
share the next evolution of music learning, Rocksmith Plus. A new interactive.
I'm gonna
music
try to
learning
put the links for
subscription
each of the
service
things that they
available
announce
this year.
in,
Learn how to play guitar
so that we
and
can get
bass
those
by
up to
playing
you
along
guys so you
to
can check them
master
out.
recordings of your favorite songs. Connect your instrument to your PC, console, or mobile device and get real-time feedback as you play. Connecting with Rocksmith Plus will be easier than ever now that you can use your
Tablets
phone
or Cheetos and sadness.
Download the app, log in, sync to Rocksmith Plus,
I am
set it down,
both sorry
play
and
along.
intrigued.
Now acoustic players and electric players with amps can use Rocksmith Plus with no extra gear needed. It's a game changer. And we're excited to reveal Rocksmith Plus will have a huge amount of songs. at
What's a
launch.
huge amount of songs?
All songs in the library will have chord charts that'll be perfect for
I've
rhythm
not seen an
players
orange-
who want
a
to
bass
learn
with
the
orange strings.
foundation of a song.
But
to
I guess
hum
that's
and
from the
strum along
Cheetos, huh?
to. We'll still have the note-for-note, authentic arrangements for players that want to play songs exactly how the artists originally played them. And each week, we'll release a steady stream of new authentic arrangements to keep growing that portion of the library. We're also
Interesting.
introducing the Rocksmith Workshop, a new tool that lets users create and add their own arrangements for songs we've licensed. Your subscription will give you access to all
Word.
those songs. More content than ever before, including genres beyond rock. We'll have pop, hip-hop, country,
Run DMC,
R&B,
Christmas in
all
Hollis. I
sorts
saw
of
that.
little subgenres. We'll have music from all over the world, from big stars to indie darlings. It's the most diverse song library ever seen in
Okay.
music learning software.
Okay, I'm
Rocksmith
kind of
Plus will
impressed.
still have our proven practice features like adaptive difficulty and riff repeater, which let you practice and learn at your own pace, or slow down and repeat tricky parts until you master them. We've improved those features in Rocksmith Plus and are introducing new ones. Beginner and intermediate players will benefit from
Okay,
more
I'm kind of. This is
personalized
kind of
learning,
impressive.
thanks to an enhanced recommendation system and more robust progress tracking. Players won't just see their growth on a single song. They can now monitor their progress technique by technique.
Aperios,
across
it's
the board,
kind of
and
Rocksmith
overall
2.0.
offer a better sense of how you're improving over time. Advanced players will be happy to know we're introducing a new Rocksmith tablature view. That way you could take
Evo?
advantage of Rocksmith Plus's song library and practice tools in a format that's familiar and one that will hone your tab reading skills. We're
Evo?
excited to announce that you can register for a chance to participate in our closed beta right after the show.
Tablature view, bro.
Visit our website at
What
rocksmith.com
you-
to get an early
I
look
believe
at
that's-
Rocksmith Plus and help us
No, it's not what you
and
did. They
create
mentioned
the
they have a
future
tablature
of
view after
music
you mentioned
learning.
all you had was
Thank you
tablature,
so
Cheetos,
much
and
to
sadness.
the amazing
They're
fans
giving
who
you the
have
tablature.
enjoyed and
You just have to
supported
bring your own
Rocksmith
Cheetos and
over the
sadness.
past 10 years.
10
We're
years?
together with Rocksmith Plus
This
for
game
another
has
10.
been out for 10 years? Closed beta right after the show. I have the link. I posted the link in the chat, so you'll have that as well.
Summer's coming, and nothing gets thrill seekers' blood flowing like bright sun and
Cheetos
fresh
are something
milk.
you can always
And
get
Riders
more of,
Republic will
Aperios.
give them just that.
Last year, you got a first look at our massive multiplayer
I
outdoor sports
I
extravaganza.
definitely get that, but
Since then, the project's grown by jumps and grinds.
I keep being surprised, but I shouldn't be surprised of how long Ubisoft supports games, because they've always done an excellent job of supporting games for a long time. Riders Republic. Okay.
Greetings, thrill seekers.
I might have to look at that for myself.
The Republic's stomping ground.
Because it looks very, very interesting. The Rocksmith Plus.
You can meet like-minded riders. Manage your career. Learn to nail those wild moves. Stay stylish.
Yeah, well that would be a slight problem.
Stay on top of the latest news.
That's not the menu, is it?
And take up some ferocious multiplayer action.
Is
like
that the
free-for-all or Tricks
menu?
Battle, our 6 versus 6 team competition.
If that's the menu for this game, they've lost their minds. That's nuts.
So, here's how it works. Performing big tricks on the modules will turn them from red to blue, and every trick that you stomp will contribute to your team's overall score. You still with me? Okay. When your team has turned all the modules blue, you capture that district, which will help multiply your score into the big time. Progress, progress, progress. To unlock more content, you gotta earn those stars. So, if you want to be the boss of your own career,
no, that's no. That looks like death. I choose death. You make one wrong turn and you're dead. SSX Tricky and Splatoon did have a kid, and it's Riders Republic.
The best parts of the Republic can be found in the city playground. We've got modules.
Get down from there. You're not supposed to be there. Too late. Okay, nothing I can do.
Maybe you're all about living on the edge. Either way,
thank you for the follow, Unicorn. I tremendously appreciate you. How are you doing today?
Important too. We've all got our preferences.
What are you doing? That's not a wingsuit. That's a jet. That's wearing a jet. That's a jet. That's a person jet. People aren't supposed to be jets. You can ride in a jet, but you're not supposed to be. That is a problem, chat. Chat, that's a problem. You're not supposed to have a jet.
Right,
Jets have rocket fuel.
Sometimes you just want to explore and bathe in nature.
That's cool. That's kind of cool. I'm doing good, Unicorn. I'm doing pretty good.
That's right. Everything you do counts. Getting those stars means more rad to be had. And the
I'm not jelly. I just feel like jets explode.
As you reach new milestones and unlock more challenges. It's the Red Bull Joyride, people. It's infamous. It's spectacular. It's the biggest mountain.
Tolerance for rocket fuel. Sometimes
what?
it be that way.
You can play it versus your friends.
I never thought that I would.
So much more. More stunts. More sports. More events.
I have not seen the new man jets that the U.S. Navy and Marines are testing, but only the Marines will be stupid enough to. I think only Marines are dumb enough and brave enough to strap rocket fuel to their back and fly into battle. Just instead of shooting rockets at people, it's just gonna be a Marine with a jetpack and an M4. Just.
Does this speak to you? Then don't miss out on mass
I would have
races.
never. No, that's a jet. That is several bad ideas simultaneously. Marines equals orcs. I'm waiting to meet a Marine that says needs more DACA. 100% that explains so much. Yeah. Oh, as if having rockets on your back isn't bad enough, you put them on your bike. I don't know if this is a game that I would have normally been interested in.
Riders Republic is coming September 2nd, and you can pre-order now and claim your right to rip.
Okay, so we've seen some of our favorite Rainbow Six operators battling alien parasites, but how's their day job going?
You know, ever since Crimson Heist, we're still trying to clear all those pesky Flores drones off the maps.
Year 6 is off to a blazing start, with Siege passing 200,000 concurrent players a few weeks ago. If you haven't joined in yet, 2021 is the perfect time to drop in.
All right, chat. Here we go.
Years into our journey with Siege, we are humbled and grateful for the enthusiastic community that
with
has
Siege,
supported
Imperials.
So today is all
you
about
need to
sharing
join up with
quality
us and play some
developments
Siege then.
that will dramatically improve player experience.
With the community growing every day, we've been hard at work finding ways to improve your ability to play with your friends and meet new players.
Crossplay.
On June 30th, we are unifying our PC and cloud-based platforms with crossplay and cross-progression. That means that any player on Amazon Luna, Stadia, or PC will be able to
Whoa, what do you mean Luna? Siege is on Luna?
Account progression.
And for console players, in early 2022, crossplay will be available between PlayStation
That's how they're gonna
and
do
Xbox
it.
platform, and the cross-progression will be available between all platforms. For these updates, we needed a bit more time in order to prepare and make sure they have a smooth launch.
Bringing these player bases together benefits everyone. It will finally allow you to play with your friends across different platforms. It also means that your progression will now follow you, anytime and anywhere you play.
Crossplay is a feature a lot of
They're putting Siege on
and
Luna.
We're thrilled to see the enthusiasm it's
If that's something that,
from your amazing fan art,
if that's something they would have mentioned at the event that I was at, I would have 100% been all in on that. I am going to I'm going to now
It is because of you that Siege keeps
re-intensify my efforts to get into that
to
beta.
wrap up, here's a brand new animated trailer starring Thunderbird, the new Defender joining Team Rainbow. Check this out.
New Team Rainbow Defender. This is the animatic for it.
Ready? 6 years ago, I met a pilot.
That sounded like that hurt a lot.
That symbol, what does it mean?
This jacket was my father's. Dagu Wankan, Wichachpi. The creator's star has many meanings. Love, wisdom, bravery.
Suits you.
Listen, I need to get this bird in the air. You try to get some rest.
You're the boss.
Never cease to amaze me, Siege. Never stop.
What's happening?
Shh. Oh shit. Yeet.
Wait, that's it? What happened next?
Why don't you ask her yourself?
Don't fist fight the bear. Wait, joins Team Nomad?
New projects aren't the only things to be excited about this year. Take a look at the incredible updates coming to our live games in 2021.
Okay. I'm real curious about what that means. There's still, For Honor still has stuff going too. Year 5, Season 2. I guarantee you there's so much stuff about, if I were to go back to this game, I wouldn't recognize it. But okay, so you say that, Evo, but one of the things I have to give Ubisoft credit is when their games come out, they may not be like the absolute best, but they have nothing against continuing to iterate on them until they make it what they want. Because Siege, when it first launched, was notoriously horrible, and now I think it's one of the biggest esports games out there. Not to mention the game itself is just a lot of fun. The Crew 2 has been out for 4 years. Siege has been out for 6. Rocksmith has been out for 10. Apparently, For Honor's been out for 5. The only thing about this that I'm curious about is if you have all of these games that you've had that have, well, I guess if you release new content, you get new people to come in and buy it, and people that have been playing it can continue playing it. So that's how the monetary balance comes out. Not to mention the cosmetics that they release for all of these games.
From the release of the Ghost experience to the latest teammate update, Ghost Recon Breakpoint keeps evolving thanks to your feedback.
This game is still going. This game had the most troubled release, and it's still going.
Anniversary of the Ghost Recon franchise. We are happy to announce that there are still
going.
More surprises to come. Stay tuned, Ghosts.
Still going. I skipped this game at launch because I thought it was going to be bad, and Ghost Recon Wildlands just kind of disappointed me. But Ghost Recon Breakpoint apparently is still
so move the coffee table,
going.
Alert the local homeowners association, and let's get loud.
Okay. I guarantee you that this is one of the only games, this is probably one of the few games that they'll show that won't really catch my interest that much.
Hello, my name is Todrick Hall, and I'm a singer, dancer, actor, director, and choreographer. I am super excited to announce that my song, Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels, is going to be a part of Just Dance 2022.
I know Todrick Hall's a big deal.
But that's not all. Oh no, for the first time ever, the Just Dance team and I are collaborating to give you an exclusive version of my song for Just Dance 2022. Girl, I don't dance, I work.
Interesting.
I slay. I don't walk, I strut, and then sashay. To me, Just Dance allows people to express themselves through dance and to celebrate.
Their licensing department must be working non-stop. Between Just Dance, Rocksmith,
brings you all so much joy, whether you're dancing alone.
Between Just Dance and Rocksmith alone, their licensing department has to be working non-stop.
I assure you, you will not just play,
non-stop.
You will absolutely slay. The new lyrics were handcrafted specifically for Just Dance, and let me tell you something, they're full of sass because, you know, they were written by yours truly, but I guarantee they are going to give people so much confidence. That's the reason why I wrote Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels, and now it's been Just Danceified. I don't think they're ready for this jelly. I hope you all have just as much fun dancing to this track as I had making it. Oh, and one last thing. You will have the opportunity to be a part of the making of my new video, which will be released alongside the new Just Dance track. For more information on how to participate, darling, just check the link below. We got you. I cannot wait to see you all living your best life and being the most fabulous you have ever been. I will see you all in Just Dance 2022. Girl, I don't dance, I work. I don't play, I slay.
Evo, I'm way too much of an old man to try and dance that much. I'll throw something out of whack. Todrick Hall is a handsome man. I don't give a shit what things like that. That's a handsome man. Just Dance is literally on everything. I think Just Dance 21 was on like Wii. Like it was released on the Wii.
Our Viking on. It was a big year for the new chief of the Raven clan. But your journey with Eivor is
I think it's talking smoothly as a track. It almost feels like spoken word, almost. We dancing, bitch. You can dance. I will happily sit on the sidelines and watch. It's a very big snake. It's a very large snake. That's a large snake.
In November 2020, we released Assassin's Creed Valhalla. To our delight, it was the biggest launch for any Assassin's Creed game to date, and we have you to thank for that. Becoming Eivor, a Viking leader going on a quest to fight for a new home, is an adventure that resonated closely with many of you. I certainly had fun exploring England with Eivor and stumbling across unique world events that left me with memorable side stories.
Thank you, Eivor.
We're
I'm gonna have to
amazed
pick
to
this
see
up
how
too.
you dedicated yourselves to the Viking lifestyle. You've led more than 300 million raids in total,
think I'm
and
gonna have
built
to.
more than 100 million buildings in your settlements.
I might have to pick this one up too.
Eivor still has a long journey ahead, and we've been continuing to offer free updates for all players to enjoy post-launch. These updates include
Ubisoft
time-limited festivals, new quests, and
Never
even
too old to
whole
cut
new
someone
games,
up on the dance floor.
such as the River Raids update.
Okay.
And the Mastery
Stay tuned. I might. I may consider it. I ain't making no promises though.
We add in community-requested tweaks and features too. For instance, we'll be adding one-handed swords in the coming weeks. The team is also working hard at tackling issues and improving the game experience for everyone. We've been
Say
tracking
what you
various
will about
known issues on our
Ubisoft.
forums,
Say what you
and
will
also
about the
share our
game.
complex
Their
bug-fixing
games sometimes
process in a
having
recent dev blog.
like
We
work
love
or
seeing your
needing
continual
more
feedback,
polish.
and we
They
thank
never
you
stop
for your
working.
patience
Like say
and
what you will
support
about
for the
Ubisoft.
game.
They are probably one of
On
the
top
hardest
regular
working
free updates,
developers
we're also
in
building on Eivor's story
in the
and
industry.
the world of
Like
Assassin's
hands
Creed
down.
Valhalla through game expansions. Wrath of the Druids released a few weeks ago. allowing
Valheim
players
looked
to
like it was
explore Ireland
Valheim was
and
another
battle
game
a
that I was
mysterious
interested in,
cult,
but it
the
was
Children of
I
Daniel.
had just gotten back into Ark, so I didn't want to pick up another survival game like that. But I heard that Valheim there's
With
like
our
a
second
head,
upcoming
it's like
expansion, you'll get to relive the
Viking-
Siege of Paris.
Viking
This is the
heavy
most
metal
ambitious
survival.
battle in Viking history, taking place in war-torn Francia. You'll have to do everything in your power to uncover enemy secrets and form strategic alliances
Okay.
in order to safeguard your clan's future. Players may be excited to learn
I
that
might
black
dip my
box
toe into it on my
infiltration
own.
missions are returning. This means you're given a goal for a mission, but how you'll achieve it is up to you. Expect
Interesting.
new abilities.
Did he just stick that man with an explosive?
And of course, new enemies. Watch out for the Siege of Paris coming this summer. Assassin's Creed has long focused.
So
on
you
the
telling me
exploration
Vikings
of
originated the
history,
sticky
and we are
bomb?
happy to announce that the new
Shred
Discovery
stick. It sounds
droids
like
will
you
be
have
released
Vikings to thank
this
for
fall. It will be
Halo
free
stickies.
to all who own Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Explore the world and take a deeper dive into the history of the Viking Age.
And it's just free.
The team has crafted a new experience
Nah, it
where
can't
you'll
be
get
free.
to play as people during the time of Vikings
It can't be free.
and follow them in their endeavors, big and small, while collecting exclusive rewards.
There's no way this is free.
Whether you're an Assassin's Creed fan with a heart for history or a student looking to supplement your knowledge, the Discovery Tour Viking Age will have you covered.
This part's free.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla doesn't stop here. For the first time on an Assassin's Creed title, we'll be supporting the game well into its second year. Well, this year will be a very
just need you to
active
hold
year
this.
for the game. We're already working on more expansions for next year. Something tells me that Eivor is not done with Odin yet.
That looks problematic. See, Ubisoft, you got too much of my money, man. You got too much of my
So
money.
you've seen some great games from us.
Too
But we
much of
also
my
have
money.
news about the movies and TV series we've been working on.
Our Ubisoft Film and Television team has some exclusive content to share. Up first is Mythic Quest, the workplace comedy set in a game development studio that's streaming on Apple TV+. If you haven't watched the second season yet, here's a look at what you've been missing before the upcoming season finale.
So Ubisoft is also doing TV shows? So they're doing games
This is an
and
involuntary
TV shows.
reaction to
Being inspired?
I was emotionally manipulated.
What's the difference? That's it. Except make it about me and not the world.
I feel really seen and heard.
I don't want to see you or hear you.
She played us to get what she wanted.
She inspired us.
She emotionally manipulated us.
What's the difference?
I don't have Apple TV,
Up next
so
is
I'm
an
not going to be able to watch
exclusive
it.
look at a new trailer for our feature-length movie, Werewolves Within. It's a whodunit with teeth that'll be coming to theaters June 25th and on
And they're
demand
releasing
July 2nd.
movies in theaters?
Hello, everyone. I am Josh Rubin, the director of Werewolves Within.
And I'm Sam Richardson, the star of Werewolves Within.
Werewolves Within was based off a Ubisoft game, and we're so excited to bring you an exclusive look.
Ubi, what are you doing?
Check it out.
What are you doing? How are you?
Dr. Ellis?
Like 4 years ago, they were fighting off a hostile takeover, and now they're releasing movies, TV shows, and all this other.
Touch this door again, I'll shoot. Again.
Dr. Ellis?
Knock it down. Lost, please. Look, we need answers.
It didn't disappear.
What did you say? What?
It's not Emerson Flint. It's one of you.
Oh. Okay, well, what did her eyeball say? Look, we don't understand. Could you just please come out?
I'm afraid I can't do that, Ranger Wheeler. You could be one of them.
Is this a TV show? Is this a movie based on the game Werewolf? That is Lily from AT&T.
A werewolf.
The roads are effed. Something's wrong with the generator. Also, there's a dead body under your porch.
Her eyeball said a lycanthrope.
I'm gonna go get a croissant.
Out of curiosity, who is packing? We having a good old-fashioned sleepover.
With guns, though.
With guns, yes.
Ah, she's so pretty.
Everybody's going, how the heck?
Not littering, I'm just...
It's 100% Lily from AT&T. She's 100% the werewolf. She's 100% the werewolf, I guarantee. I guarantee you Lily from AT&T is the werewolf. I'm calling it now, chat.
And be sure
Mark
to
my
catch
words.
Werewolves Within
Lily
this
from
summer.
AT&T is
In
going to be the
theaters
werewolf.
Or on your on-demand platforms.
No hero story is complete without a great rival to match them. After all, even the most vile tyrant is a star of their own narrative.
Far Cry 6.
When it comes to memorable villains, no one does it better than Far Cry.
Give it to me. Come on.
Please, we have to get on that boat.
Abuela, what the hell I'm gonna do with baseball cards?
Do you have any idea what these are worth? Let us through.
Marco, always making new friends.
Danny, you're late. Where's Alejo?
He gave up his ticket for his family.
Bullshit. Alejo is an orphan.
Alejo's not going anywhere anymore. Come on, Marco. Let them on.
Vamos.
Good man.
Get out of boxing now.
And there's the link for Werewolves Within.
Gracias.
Don't worry about it, chamaco.
Show it to me. Show me the crazy.
This isn't right, Danny. We should be fighting, not running to the Yankees.
Alejo gave you a fucking gift, Lira. We survive. Same as the orphanage, same as the academy.
What's that?
Please, no, this is a fishing boat. No.
Give it to me. Give me the crazy. Give me the crazy. Come on. Every Far Cry villain has always been insane and charismatic. Give it to me. Come on, baby. Giancarlo Esposito as the villain. Give me all of that. If you watch The Mandalorian, you know this man's insane. He was Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian, and he was nuts. And that's him. Give me the crazy, baby.
Before he was El Presidente, mi papa loved to fish. We would go out on a boat, just like this, and we would catch the fish, and then release them.
He was better in Breaking Bad.
Say it's not always about your stomach, mijo. It's about the challenge. Except when he caught a big fat, juicy marlin.
He has a. He tied his tie in an eldritch knot. That's the. That's the knot that I usually tie in my tie. That old lady got shot.
A very big fish today.
And just keeps going. Doesn't stop. Just keeps going.
Haven't I, Diego? Diego!
No way.
That's his son.
I have caught you, mijo. Now it's time to bring you home.
I don't want this anymore, Papa.
We have no choice.
Is he the villain or the hero?
Let them go. They can work. Make Viviro.
Truth or lies?
Truth.
They could be good workers. They could help rebuild paradise. But if you wanted them to live,
you wouldn't have gotten on the boat.
Never set foot on his fucking boat. 13 years old. And Diego has such compassion
They're
for
all
his
dead.
people. These fish, we will catch.
Yeah, the Merovingian knot is pretty dope too. There's a YouTube tutorial on how to tie the Merovingian knot. It's really dope. And you can also buy Merovingian ties that actually are a different color, so it looks like your tie is wearing a tie that's a different color. And everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. That is gonna be so good.
You've just seen another disturbing lesson from Anton Castillo, passed down to his son Diego as he grooms him to become the future ruler of Yara.
Okay.
The most important part of crafting a Far Cry villain isn't the fact that they're evil or shocking.
Who, Giancarlo Esposito? Yeah, no, he's the villain.
Across from you at the dinner table,
he's 100% the villain.
Charm you into thinking that everything they believe,
every Far Cry game is built on the villain.
Horrifying, could be absolutely true.
Every single one.
That's the secret to Anton's power.
Far Cry 3 was Voss Montenegro. Far Cry 4 was Pagan Min. Far Cry 5 it was
creating Anton, we had quite a lot to live up to. Because when you think Far Cry,
Straight Stick, what was the villain in Far Cry 5? Yep, there's Pagan Min. There's him who I can't remember. Joseph Seed, that's his name.
A very special day for Far Cry fans.
So Joseph Seed in Far Cry 5.
Not only did we get to see into the mind of Anton Castillo, we finally get to unveil some of our post-launch plans.
This is why they always talk about their post-launch, because they're going to support these games for like a year into the
and
advance.
Introduce a brand new experience.
Yeah, Father Joseph Seed, there you go.
It is time to see the other side.
I'm sorry,
Go
what?
Further down the rabbit hole.
What?
And it's up to you to find a way out.
What are you talking about, dog? What are you talking about?
What is going on?
That was Voss.
Who's watching?
My.
That's Pagan Min.
RJ, tell your mother and sister to...
You are alive.
That's Joseph Seed.
That is all that matters. What the fuck?
Peekaboo, motherfucker.
Where the fuck am I?
I too am a king who isn't afraid to slaughter to get what he wants. In my way!
Is this a test? A dream?
An opportunity.
Then I will not waste it.
What am I looking at, Ubi?
You are beyond salvation.
Did I ever tell you?
The definition of insanity. Ubi! Ubi, what you doing? What are you doing to me?
We're so excited
buying
for you
the
all to check out
fuck
this
out of
next
that game.
Oof, nail him. I can't wait.
I am buying the fuck out of that game. I'm buying the fuck out of that game. They sold. I'm sold. Sold. Getting to play the villain of the previous games. Sold. Mario! The fuck are you doing in the Ubisoft presentation? Aren't you supposed to be here tomorrow? Oh, that's why. Are they making a sequel to this? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Vast energy anomaly detected.
Mario Rabbids 2. I intentionally avoided the news today so nothing would be spoiled. But what am I seeing? So, Dragon, after they finish this trailer, I'll explain to you what the gameplay is. It's not what it's. Give me a sec. I want to make sure I have the link to put in chat. Okay, so Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was a game that released on the Switch in like its first year being out. And it basically was
super proud of this new game.
Mario and Rabbids in XCOM, and it was exceptional. Like, no shit,
we did something
exceptional
quite surprising
game.
with the concept of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah, they're talking about Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle here. It's fantastic.
Hi everyone, Mario and the Rabbids are back. And I'm so excited to be back as well today to unveil our
They
new project,
pitched this
Mario
to
plus Rabbids
Miyamoto,
Sparks of Hope.
and
we are
he
diving back into this unique
went
crossover
insane
with
for it.
even bigger ambition.
Which is why,
Expanding our
when it was
universe
initially
on a
released,
major scale.
Miyamoto showed
This time
up
it's
on
not just a
Ubisoft's
mushroom
stage
kingdom. There is
to
an
announce this
entire
game.
galaxy
That's
to
how
see.
big of a deal this is.
To do so,
Ubisoft
you
is the
will
only
lead a
company
brave
that has
yet
ever been
reckless
able to
team of
license
unique
Nintendo
heroes,
characters.
including some fresh faces.
Oh,
like
no.
Rabbids Rosalina
No. They were
and
in
other
Soul Calibur.
surprises.
Link was in Soul
On their
Calibur.
quest
But,
to repel evil
okay, so
across
two
the
companies.
galaxy, their spaceship will bring
And even
them
that wasn't
from
licensed because
planet
that was
to
on.
planet.
Yeah,
They will be facing a powerful villain.
It was an amazing
Cursor,
game, Aperios.
an enemy
Like Mario
unlike
Rabbids
anything
Kingdom Battle is a
our
game that
heroes
if you have a
encountered
Switch and you
before.
haven't played it, do yourself a
But
favor
they won't
and
be
go
alone.
pick up a copy. It
By
is
their
awesome.
side, they will have their new allies, the Sparks. These surprising creatures, born from the merge of Rabbids and Lumas, will lend their wild powers to our heroes.
It's a
Their
dope game.
natures and origin are at the core of our story. But let's
It's
keep some
literally
surprises for later.
Mario, Rabbids, XCOM had a kid and then sent that kid to an asylum.
After the success of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the entire team was moved by the amazing reception from players.
It's a
across the
dope
world.
game.
We were stunned by the love we felt for this unexpected team-up. We know we've been off the radar for a while now, as we wanted to take the time needed to bring this crossover to the next level. It's not just a new story with new enemies, new heroes. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope has big ambitions. It introduces new action elements.
Hey,
into
C
the
Films.
mix that will push
Not
the
much.
boundaries
Well, I
of
guess I'm still
technical
telling
games
jokes.
even
It's going
further.
pretty well, as to be
That being
expected.
said, we also wish to offer an easy-to-play experience for all players, yet hard to master for those of you that are willing to take the challenge. And you'll be able to experience this cosmic adventure exclusively on the Nintendo
MarioRabbids.com.
Switch.
There you go.
We can't wait to tell you more about the game soon.
There is an entire galaxy to save, and we cannot wait for you to experience it.
Interesting. So the link I'm about to post apparently doesn't work yet. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching the Ubisoft stuff because this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. But I'm not sure. I might try and catch another one afterwards. I'm not sure yet. And C Films is actually a really dope crossover game. Like, it's really, really cool. Again, XCOM, Mario, Rabbids. And it's surprisingly deep. Like, for a game that has Mario and Rabbids, it's surprisingly deep of a game. Wizard with the resub, thank you very much for the 5 months in a row. How's it going? Thank you for the resub. Tremendously appreciate you. That's next year. Okay. This is gonna be dope.
So we're not done yet.
How are you?
Let's check in with our CEO, Yves Guillemot.
All right, Eve, what you got? You got some surprise lined up? I'm sure you do.
Hi everyone. As you have seen, we have a fantastic and diverse lineup of games coming soon.
Okay.
And this is just the beginning. Thanks to all the teams at Ubisoft for what they achieved, and for always striving to deliver the best possible game experiences. I'm humbled by their resilience, energy, and collaboration, especially during what has been a challenging year. I'm also proud of our industry's ability to bring together millions of players from around the world to share memorable experiences and moments of joy. This is one of the real powers of video games, and it is what motivates everyone at Ubisoft to do our best. Finally, my sincere thanks to you, the players. We appreciate the trust you place in us. Your involvement in our games communities keeps them growing and vibrant.
Give me a second. See, I'll get to your
create
your
original,
comment.
enriching, long-lasting game worlds, and your contributions, feedback, and support make it possible. We also are proud that some of the biggest names in entertainment trust our creative teams to develop games within their universes.
When he says big, he
For
means
example,
Nintendo.
You just saw
Nintendo.
Mario
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
Rabbids Sparks of Hope, developed in collaboration with Nintendo, where everyone's favorite Mario and Rabbids characters return for an all-new adventure. And speaking of great partnerships, there is one more exciting thing we would like to show you today. It is a glimpse of the amazing journey that awaits you in one of the most beautiful but dangerous places of all, brought to life by the latest version of our Snowdrop engine. I'm
Chat, this is it.
excited to share this
Chat, this is it.
with you now. Enjoy.
Division, Homeland, Heartland. This is it, chat. I guarantee you this is it. Come on. Oh shit, no, not the Division. Avatar. Wow. Nah, this is an Avatar game. Wow. So Ubisoft got that license. Wow. And based on Ubisoft's track record of supporting games, and there's supposed to be, what, 5 Avatar movies coming out? They will be able to update this game every time a new Avatar movie comes out. Every time a new Avatar movie comes out, they'll be able to add new content. Mark my words, they'll be supporting this game for the next... Every time a new Avatar movie comes out, they will come back and they will drop new content for this game. 10 to 1. Yeah, Dragon. If I'm not mistaken, there are 5 more Avatar movies coming. If you go to IMDb, I think it's 4 or 5 more Avatar movies coming. And I think they're all being, like, some of them are being filmed at the same time. Yeet! Consider, Dragon, that Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the fan base is big enough. Because if you consider that it's the highest grossing movie of all time, there has to be some overlap between gamers who enjoy it and moviegoers who watched it. So I'd be willing to bet you it's pretty big. And it's being done by massive studios. Okay.
You and I
are gonna tear shit up! Yeah, see? C-Films got the dates there. Avatar 2, 2022, Avatar 3, 2024, Avatar 4, 2025, and Avatar 5, 2028. So if that movie's coming, if the game's coming out in 2022, that would be 6 years of support, and we know that Ubisoft supports games for well within that. That's well within Ubisoft's range of support. I mean, hell, Rainbow Six is in year 5.
Too much fun.
Yeah, Varios, there will be. I guarantee you. No More Heroes wouldn't be in this broadcast. See, it would probably be in Nintendo's broadcast, if anything, if anywhere. But I think that they are talking about a new. I think there was announced a No More Heroes 3 for Switch a couple of years ago.
In Rainbow Six Extraction, learned some new songs in Rocksmith, got an adrenaline rush from Riders Republic, lit up the dance floor in Just Dance 2022, visited new shores in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, witnessed a chilling confrontation in Far Cry 6, and teamed up with our favorite man in overalls in Mario plus Rabbids.
Don't go anywhere.
That part of that press conference was most definitely done at Nintendo's behest, because Mario's not a plumber and hasn't been a plumber for a while. So they said favorite man in overalls as opposed to favorite plumber, because he's not a plumber. And here I thought I was gonna leave, but apparently I'm not.
I think it's important to have a First Nations character in a mainstream game because Indigenous women especially are very underrepresented in mainstream media, and that's what we're hoping to change with this character.
If there was ever a game to drop her into that she would fit, this is it.
Bust on all those negative stereotypes about even Indigenous women, Indigenous
I have played No More Heroes.
If there's anything that can help target an audience to become more interested in Nakota community, it's probably technology. And Ubisoft is right in touch with the highest technology games and
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really unique. Suda 51 has always been good at making really weird, unique games.
I'm excited to see the outcome.
No More Heroes is just another example of that. I actually am a huge fan of
Thunderbird was born in the Nakota territories.
Killer 7, which is another Suda 51 game, which is actually pretty cool.
Sky. She values her community.
Hey, Raisin, how you doing? Thank you again, by the way, for the follow. I tremendously appreciate it. Welcome to the Madhouse.
The community or the land.
We knew that we wanted this character.
Mythical, thank you for the 8 months. Tremendously appreciate it. Appreciate your continued support.
Field she would be working. So I asked the consultants if they had any sort of feedback or information that they wanted to take into consideration when picking the work field in which this character would be working.
I suggested that Thunderbird be a technical expert within hydrology because we believe as Nakota people that water is life and that within that is the struggle of protecting and preserving the environment.
Again, say what you will about Ubisoft games, but Ubisoft, when they launch a game, when they add a character in from a new country or whenever they add in a new culture into a game, they don't half-ass it. Like where there are some games where they kind of, it feels like it's just lip service. Like Ubisoft always goes in and goes in hard.
However, it can also heal your opponents. So Kona quite literally is a friend to everyone.
Long ago, especially
I liked.
northern Nakota tribes of
I never played Force Unleashed, but I saw it and it seemed very interesting. So I would have to say, because I haven't played it, I would probably say I like No More Heroes more. But see, if you could, let's try to keep this because I want to focus on just the Ubisoft kind of press conference. So let's if you can, let's keep our focus on the Ubisoft press conference because I don't want to miss anything or people, or alienate anyone who is here for the Ubisoft stuff. But I appreciate your questions. They're always good questions.
Thunderbird would not have existed without the input of Tarina, Jessica, and Shayna. They honestly created this character from the ground up.
We never really knew each other, and we were so excited to talk about this character. And we talked about water, we talked about her name, and we talked about all of these things that, that's going to represent a strong woman warrior. She's going to be representing, she's going to be carrying. And, that was really what was cool about working with Ubisoft and this character.
They also made her the most powerful healer in this game.
C'est notre devoir d'offrir un maximum de représentation, de donner la possibilité à un maximum de personnes de pouvoir s'identifier, de pouvoir rêver, de pouvoir se projeter au travers de notre contenu. Et c'est pour ça qu'on va repousser de plus en plus les limites de la diversité sur notre projet. On va aller voir
that I will always get excited for and always come back to, no matter what. Rainbow Six Siege is it. I can literally say that I've played this game regularly from launch to now. And I genuinely, they said that they wanted to do that for, they said that they wanted to do this for the next,
I feel that us consultants,
they wanted to have 100 operators, and I think that they'll do that.
Develop a character that would make Nakota people proud.
Is it a Ubisoft game? For some reason, I thought it was a different publisher.
Really impact with kids that are Nakota. I might just, purchase a game console and try it out myself.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't come into it new in season 5. That's gonna be. Well, I guess you could. No, yeah. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and come into it new.
Thanks for joining us. We've got a great show lined up for you today.
We've got a bunch of amazing folks from dev team members, members of the community, and our community team.
Streamer charms, huh?
For a bunch of great topics related to the upcoming season of Siege.
Best Ubisoft game? Ooh.
Coming hot on the heels
For
of
me
that
personally,
Thunderbird,
I would say it's
we'd like to take
probably
behind
going to
scenes of
either be
In order to help you
the
with
Division
that, we
series
have
or Rainbow
Alex
Six Siege.
Propazis.
Like, those are my two.
Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
So before we dive into Thunderbird specifically,
And one of the previous No More Heroes games might have been an Ubisoft game, but currently it's developed by a Grasshopper manufacturer.
deciding what to base a character around.
Starting an operator starts with
Worst
a lot of
Ubisoft game?
exploration. On the gameplay side, there's a bunch of
I
gadgets.
can't think
you
of
wanna
any
try out,
Ubisoft games that have ever
things
been
that are
really,
interesting
really
for
bad.
abilities.
Um,
On a universe
I
side,
genuinely can't think of any
there's
Ubisoft games that I would say
interesting
were
bios
bad.
that
I
we
would say the one that I was
explore,
most disappointed in
different kind of people
would have
we want to
been
introduce
Ghost
to
Recon
cast
Wildlands, just because the promise of that
And
game was
on
so
the character concept
large,
side,
and then they just weren't able to
want to
deliver.
play
Like,
with
I wasn't able
different
to stay
forms and
interested in it.
silhouettes.
But they also released
haven't
it
really
at the
seen
same time as
before
like
in Siege.
Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn. So I think that game just was a casualty of being released between one of the greatest PlayStation open world original games and
feature somebody from the
arguably the
First Nations
greatest
in North America. This is
open
our
world
backyard. We wanted to represent
video game of
somebody
all
from a
time
huge community,
in Breath of the Wild.
but we didn't know
So
where
I
to
think that one
start.
was just that one was a
we
function of just
eventually found
choosing the
that
wrong
it
release
all
period
really
because
started
they
from
they
the
all
past.
released within a week of
We
each other
wanted
or
to
2 weeks
find
of each other.
somebody who could speak their native language, bring
Ubisoft does not only make
incredible
games for Nintendo.
character,
Ubisoft, most of the games we saw actually weren't for
really
Nintendo.
do
They make games
justice
for
to
Nintendo,
who
PlayStation,
So this all
Nintendo,
began
Sony,
with our
Microsoft,
star, who's
PC.
Sarah Louise MacArthur.
Ubisoft is
she really
unique
was
within
the
game
driving
publishers because
force
they're not just a
behind
publisher; they're a publisher and a developer.
She knows
So,
how
for
to speak
example,
Korean, she has an incredible
this
voice,
game
and
is
that's really
within
what honed in
this
on
one is
the idea
developed
of
by
an
Ubisoft,
operator
but
in Rainbow Six Siege.
the Division is
In
developed
addition
by
to
Red Storm
working
and
closely
Massive.
with the casting side
Later,
of it,
Dragon, thanks for stopping
they also
by, man. I appreciate you hanging out.
really closely, as we saw
So they
in
make
the
games
with
for a lot of
consultants.
different.
I know
They
you
make games
mentioned
for many different
that
platforms,
some
and
of
as a
them
publisher,
was
they
really
publish
important
games
part
of other smaller teams as well.
play. Was there anything in particular with the iconography that they helped with?
The consultants were immensely helpful and so supportive of what we were trying to do with Thunderbird. Once we knew that we wanted to feature an
character design looks so cool,
operator,
too.
That's when we found 3 amazing consultants. One of them
This
being
character
an
design is
artist, to
sick.
start working on the background of the operator and the visuals. And so when you take a look at Thunderbird, there's actually a lot.
You said
of
Hyperscape wasn't
emblems
great?
and iconography that has a lot of.
I'm gonna have to revisit it though, because like when it comes to Ubisoft games,
That you'd be able to dig into
that first year of release almost always feels
on Thunderbird
kind of
you
rough.
take a look
So
at
I would
back
say
her jacket,
if you played it in the
for
beginning,
instance,
I would check it out a
which
year
is
in
a
because it could be a completely
huge
different game
symbol
from where it
for
is.
Encoded
So
Nation.
although you say that it might have been bad,
so
I will
many
at
things,
least take a look at it to
most of
see.
all balance.
Yeah, because For Honor at the beginning was unbalanced and it was fun to play, but yeah, it could be rough. And now it's going into its 5th year, so that just goes to show the longevity of Ubisoft games.
Was meaningful and respectful.
Yeah, so see, in the case of No More Heroes, it's published by Ubi, but developed by Grasshoppers. So because that's only on Switch, No More Heroes 3 at least, and No More Heroes 1 was on Wii. Like that's always been a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's always been a Nintendo property, right? Was it ever on any other console?
We wanted to make
Chat, help me out. Tell me if No More Heroes was ever on any other console other than Nintendo consoles.
Just like
Because they might be
that you can hear
kind of almost like a second party
that we
game.
released.
So
Making sure that
within game development, and this is from my very limited kind of understanding, but within game development, there are 3 different types of games. There are first party games, which are usually developed in-house by the studio that makes the console. So for Nintendo, for Microsoft, think, Halo, Gears of War, Forza. For Sony, think God of War or Uncharted, Last of Us, and then for Nintendo, it's throw a rock in a direction. Any of their IPs are all super well known. So you have that. It was on Steam. Okay, so that actually, Aperios, kind of segues perfectly into what I was going to
Time
say.
to bring us through the design
Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
In the meantime,
Okay, cool.
we're gonna jump
So it was
into
released on a
the
bunch of different
trailer
platforms.
that
So
we
it's not
mentioned before,
Nintendo
but
unique. Okay, cool. I'm happy I got that cleared up.
the
But
floor.
so one of
I
the
just
other
wanna
unique
thank
things
the
about
team
first
for
party
being so
games
incredible.
is that
Thunderbird was an immense amount of work.
more
I
and
know
more
everyone's
lately,
so
it
extremely
feels
proud of
as
her.
first party games are
I
now
also know that they're
have to
already
include
hard at work on
PC,
the next couple
which
of
it doesn't have to, but it gives you bigger reach, right? So when
thank you so much.
Horizon Zero Dawn came out, it was only on PlayStation 4. So if you didn't have a PlayStation 4, you couldn't experience it, and it was a great game. Now, however, because it's now on PC, you can also experience it on PC as well. A lot of games are starting to do that, even though I feel like Microsoft kind of jumped on that bandwagon first, probably because of their connection with PCs in general. But now a lot more games are kind of looking at doing that. The only company that I know of currently that has not looked at branching out onto PC is Nintendo, and that's because the strength of Nintendo's first party IP is what sells Nintendo consoles. It is what keeps Nintendo in the conversation as a hardware manufacturer, because no matter how underpowered a Nintendo console may be, you're going to pick it up so that you can play whatever the newest Mario game is, whatever the newest Legend of... Like, most of Nintendo's primary IP are all console sellers, whereas Sony and Microsoft sometimes have a problem finding a game that can be a console seller. I think that the Nintendo Switch did as well as it did because of Breath of the Wild. I'm talking over this because we've already watched this trailer, but I was working at Nintendo when Breath of the Wild came out, and we got to see the attach rate, which is the attach rate when it comes to gaming is how many people of that install base, right? So an install base of a console might be 100, like a million people. How many people of that million people also bought a particular game? And the attach rate for Breath of the Wild a year into its release was like 105%, which is insanity, because that means that people were buying Breath of the Wild even though they couldn't get their hands on a Switch, which is insanity when you consider that the average attach rate for games, I believe, and I might be wrong on this, but I want to say it's anywhere between 30 to 50% is like the average attach rate.
Hey everyone,
and that's considered
my
a
name is
good
Josh.
attach rate.
I am one of the
So for a game to have over a 100% attach rate means that people are buying the game before they can get the console, so that when the console comes out and it's in stock, they can grab it, which is absolutely insanity, and it's one of the things that Nintendo alone
Without
can
further
do.
ado, let's dive right into it. Up first, let's talk about smoke propagation
Okay,
and smoke
so now we're looking at
toxic
updates for
We're excited to announce that with
Rainbow
the
Six
release of
Siege
North Star,
Year
smoke's
6 Season
toxic
2.
canisters will no longer clip through ceilings, floors, or walls.
Okay.
Up next, bullet hole peeking. We know that for players,
And this is a super fast-paced version of the updates.
With North Star, we're excited to announce that
Aparios, I'm in the same boat as you, dude. I have an entire shelf that has Switch games from here to here, and I still haven't played all of them. Hell, I haven't even finished... I don't think I've even got a chance to start Super Mario Odyssey. And I don't think I've 100%ed Legend of Zelda because, dear God, to 100% Breath of the Wild, I think that it was like estimated at like 120 hours, which is insanity.
To solve this, we are simulating the way light bounces off objects in the environment and evaluating the strengths of flashes to make sure that they are balanced. We're happy with the results so far and are now testing it to make sure it meets the standards in the heat of a match, and we are currently aiming for a Year 6 Season 3 launch for this. Up next,
Yeah,
let's
Trey,
talk about certain skins that are difficult to see.
I was going to do that, but then I was like 120 shrines, I can do that. 900 Korok seeds, I'm out.
Skins that make this a little bit difficult for our players. To combat this, we are introducing rim lighting. That way, all cosmetics have a similar visibility across the board. We are currently aiming for a Year 6 Season 3 release for this, so be sure to stay tuned to our social media.
Okay, so improved flash detection and improved visibility will be Year 6 Season 3.
Issues that tie into your wider player experience with Siege. When it comes to cheating and toxicity, we know these topics are important for our community just as much as they are for us. In our last anti-cheat dev blog, he mentioned that we are working on building new cheat detections based on statistics to uncover our most disruptive cheat users.
Okay.
While this process was originally manual to stress test
data-based cheat detection makes me
this process is now
a
automatic.
little uncomfortable.
This means that sanctions for cheaters identified through data-based means will come quicker and reduce their impact on our community. Implementing an automatic process also allows us to work in parallel and strengthen our collaboration with BattleEye. We are also taking
that might work out.
to further evolve the MMR rollback system by improving its reactivity and minimizing its negative impact on our players. The goal of MMR rollback was
I can see that. I can see that, Perios. Like that,
match.
as we get older, it becomes a lot harder because we realize, like, I don't have the time for that now. Like, Ocarina of Time, easy to 100%, right? And the game was smaller too, but in comparison, I also had more time. But when it comes to nowadays, it's... And the other thing that makes that difficult now, Perios, is so many live service games. Like, live service games makes it really difficult to 100% a game because you're stuck in that game that has a standard grind to it. So games like this, you know, other non-grind games become very difficult to kind of work with.
The impact on our committed players. Now, this is only just a snapshot of what we're working on. Later on this week, we will share a top issues article that will recap these and some of our other top related issues. On top of this, we are also hard at work on focused updates for specific top issues, like an update to our anti-cheat dev blog, so stay tuned for more.
Okay. Sixth Guardian.
All right, and now we're here to talk about something very near and dear to my heart. That's the Sixth Guardian program.
I see it. Very rarely do I stop liking a game. Oh wait, how long would I like a game to be? Okay, hold on.
At the time, that first crack at it was
for the most part, I feel like it depends on the genre of game, right? So a first-person shooter campaign should be no longer than like 20 hours tops. However, an RPG, I like those to be anywhere between 60 to 80. If they really draw me in. I want it to be that my definition of a good game is how long it pulls me in and I lose track of time. The best example of that is Persona 5. I enjoyed that game and played the hell out of that game, and when I beat that game and looked at my time, my final clear time in Persona 5 was exactly 123 hours, and I did 100% Persona 5, and I probably would go. The only reason I didn't go back in 100% Persona 5 is because they announced Persona 5 Royal. So, see, replayability and length go hand in hand. If there's not a lot of replayability, then I want it to be a short game so I can get it out of the way. But if it's like RPGs, I like replayability, especially where I can like experiment with different things. Some action games are like that as well. One of my favorite games when it comes to action, like stealth action, was Dishonored, which had a tremendous amount of... I recognize her. That's Ashley Johnson. Anyway, as far as replayability, I'd like it to be, you know, I want it to be that the replayability makes it a different game. If it's just small changes, I don't care. New Game Plus modes are great because it lets me get strong through the game and then go back and tackle challenges that I hadn't done before. And then games where you can take, like, you know, either a stealth or loud approach, those types of games. Games like Destiny 2, where the replayability is just you having a different class, is a little bit more difficult because with all of the time and energy you put into building up one character, leveling up 3 characters is a lot more difficult.
Stepping off the plane and just going down the street to get a chili dog.
All right, Aperios, I appreciate you stopping by. Are you gonna stream the Devolver event, or are you just gonna watch it on your just watch it on your off time? So if you're gonna stream it, let me know and I'll stop by your stream. If not, then I will catch up with you later, man. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Fill up that tough time in their lives.
I like some turn-based games. I like turn-based RPGs. RTS games are a little harder for me because it sometimes takes a little bit for me to get kind of to get grabbed into them because they normally have a really slow startup. But for the most part, I kind of like turn-based games, but it depends on the genre.
it's not just a U.S. only charity. You're serving military organizations outside of the U.S. Is that right?
One of the things that we try to impress upon people is just because we're based in the United States, we are not just a U.S.-based charity. We help U.S. and allied veterans, which means if you put on a uniform and you're one of our allies through NATO or ANZAC, Australia, New Zealand, any of our allies out there, we will work with you.
And that fits in perfectly.
FPS are basically turn-based, but everyone gets turned. The best definition I've heard, Trey, of a turn of describing an FPS is that FPS is basically you and 11 other people all exchange math at the same time, and whoever has the better math wins. Okay, so you're talking about are you talking about strategy games like Civ, Sims, and Roller Coaster Tycoon?
So how do you feel about partnering with Siege?
I can't say that I don't like them, because one of my favorite relaxing games is a game called Islanders, which is a really, really kind of chill sim style game. But I don't mind sim games, but they have to be unique. They have to be something that really, really draws me in. The Sims doesn't interest me because it's basically a real life simulator, and I have no desire to do that. Civ is kind of cool because you can choose a country and kind of either try and follow their actual path or just go completely off of it. That's dope. Trey, you said their math was lucky, but I've seen some. If you're accurate, it ain't luck, it's skill. So sometimes exchanging your math is a little bit more accurate, especially in games like Rainbow Six, where a one-shot headshot is a kill, even with a pistol. So you can go like, this is the weakest gun in the game. However, if I hit you in the mouth, plink, I win. So sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's skill.
The perfect choice.
The Valk 6 Guardian Stack Up Bundle will be available as soon as Year 6 Season 2 North Star launches.
This is how you make money for a game that you've released 6 years ago. You make really cool cosmetics, and you tie those cosmetics to real world things. That's how you get people to continue investing money into a game after you've released it. That's why Rainbow Six can continue to go on for 6 years, because you have new players that are coming in to join their old friends. They make enough big changes and improving things that it continues to be really cool. And then you have cosmetics that make it so those cosmetics are really cool. Whenever I die, it's not my math's fault, it's their math or cheats. Some people are like that. I definitely have heard people that see some kills and they're like, that was bullshit, he had to be cheating. Then I watched Shroud play, and Shroud is a human aimbot. No, sometimes, Trey, their math is cheating. But then you see people like Shroud who are human aimbots, and you're like, okay, that's not their math is cheating. That is whatever deity you believe in deciding, you know what? I'm going to make a real life aimbot, and I'm going to drop it into the world, see what it does.
Stadia, we're very excited about it. It's going to be out and released on June 13th for everybody. So June 13th, you'll be able to play on Stadia, and you will also be able to play with PC player, and your progression will also follow you whenever.
I'm so worried about this, because as far as I know, Stadia only. Well, actually, no. Stadia lets you use keyboard and mouse too, so that's fine.
Will PC and console have crossplay between them?
No, not for now.
Okay.
We're gonna have
not for now. That's a different answer.
And,
he didn't say no. He said not for now.
With cloud-based platforms, and console in the future will be together.
Got it. So, and to be clear, when we talk about console crossplay, which generations are we talking about?
We're going to talk about every generation: PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox One X.
Perfect. Now, it's something that
Xbox Series X, not One X. Xbox One X is the same as an Xbox One.
Let's talk a little bit about the console crossplay coming. What steps do we need to take now to make this thing happen?
We are going to need to be very careful on how we do it, because as you know, Siege is a live game, so it's like changing the wheels of the car while we are riding on the highway, right? So we're going to have a lot of work to do on the
Trey, being called a hacker when you know you're not is a huge compliment. Being called a smurf when you're new to a game is a huge compliment.
Make sure that all the different and separate environment that we have.
Yeah, those are Gamers have weird ways of taking things as compliments. Like if you get called a Smurf and you actually are Smurfing, people get real upset. If you get called a Smurf and it's your first time playing the game, it's a huge like, oh, thank you. You think that I'm a much better player that came back to level 1 to kick your ass. This is great.
Indeed, a very good question.
But hold on one second.
We're working on looking what we're gonna do it and how we're gonna handle it. That's for sure. It's something that is on our roadmap, but it's a very complicated topic. And again, the idea is to make sure that we do it properly. So yes, input spoofing, and how we manage them in the matchmaking is on our top priority list. Yes, for that feature.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if console crossplay is coming in 2022, what can we expect between now and then?
First step will be the release of the Stadia version in June 30th. And after that, we're going to be hard at work making sure that everything is ready for
So one of the things on that screen, chat, was cross progression across all platforms. That's the thing I'm really curious about, and that's the thing I want to know about.
In the meantime, everyone keep an eye out on channels.
Because if that's the case, then I'm going to be able to take all the things that I've unlocked on my console and use them on PC, which is what matters to me. Like, I don't need to play with people on console, but being able to have all the stuff that I bought, that matters.
And we've been working on quite some time and finding ways how to get design.
She's sitting behind a green screen.
Artists into the game. In March 2021, we launched a community artist bundle program together.
And it's aggressive.
And the very first community created bundle by Source Siege for the operator Cavera. The response of the community has been absolutely
That's not okay.
fantastic.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
Shredstick,
Shredstick, I need an adult.
We're extremely excited to announce the Year 6 Season 2 fan artist bundle designed by the one and only Sunstark. Sunstark has been a pillar in our community with her amazing fan art for Siege, and she has a very unique story to share, because while we were creating her bundle, she was actually hired by Ubisoft to work on Siege full-time.
That's
She's here on the show with
dope.
us today, so welcome Sunstark, and why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your story?
Hi, I'm Sunshine Kim. You know me more as Sunstark. I'm a character concept artist working in the video game industry since 2015.
Dope.
I
Okay.
started drawing Rainbow Six Siege fan art since Velvet Shell season.
Is that her art?
I'm a fan of military shooting games, so the general aesthetics of this game.
That's so sick.
Designs and character lore, and those all things really appealed to me at the time. So for me, it was a good stress relief to draw.
That's her fan art. I would have thought that was like official. I would have thought that was official game concept art.
Rainbow Six Siege now.
And now she's got hired by Ubisoft. That's so dope.
About creating your bundle, and can you tell us how your journey was from being a fan artist to actually being an employee and working on Siege?
Let's say that it was like double lottery wins. It was already a big honor for me to be invited to this amazing program that to be immortalized in the game. And during the production, during the production of this bundle,
That's
I
dope.
actually got approached by the
That is dope.
the
That
art team of
right,
Rainbow Six
Raisin? Like that's
that
if you ever have anything that you want to shoot for, that's it.
for the role on the team.
The-
So
and
I applied, and I got hired.
I'll talk more about this after this segment because I don't want to talk over her.
Absolutely incredible. So, what is your position within Siege exactly?
I'm a character concept artist working on Rainbow Six Siege team. So that includes battle pass skins or like elite skins or new operators.
Shredstick, she's the reason that we keep losing so much money. She works on elite skins. That's why I'm always broke.
You chose to create this bundle for Lion. Why did you choose this character in particular?
Yeah,
Yes,
she
Lion
makes the
is
shit
indeed
that
my
we dump,
favorite
we throw
operator.
money at.
If you follow my social medias, 90% of my contents include Lion, so it's not a secret.
Okay, so this is clearly her favorite character.
I just found the character really, the lore is really interesting to me. It's quite dramatic. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, Evo, yard work will do that for you.
He's just unique personality.
What'd you work on?
Not
Out of
unique, but
curiosity.
Unique. His unique personality causing trouble with other operators, and his
Yeah.
really dark past, and his relationship with his son and everything. It just made the character super rich, and I enjoyed adding
For
my
Siege,
interpretation to every fan art I did for him.
What inspired
for Siege
you
to be a live service game, it has some deep
There's
lore.
one time that I did a fan
Crazy
for
deep
Lion,
lore.
which was firefighter theme.
If you ever want to see something crazy, if you have Rainbow Six Siege, just go
I just enjoyed
and
aesthetic. I just enjoyed
just go and
firefighter uniform and then all the tactical gears together. It
go
was
and
just
read
fun
the
to create
bios for each of the operators.
when
They're
I posted it
absolutely
up,
insane.
I got several messages from actual firefighters in our community, and they were all thanking me.
Okay, Evo.
All I did was just drawing a fan art of my favorite character, but they were thanking me for representing them in my art. So
Now
when
without tips,
Ubisoft
Hal.
approached to me and presented this idea, of course I'm going to take it. I immediately thought, I gotta make that.
Is there such a thing as too many roses, Evo?
Real.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
yeah,
maybe you do
there
have
was
too many
no
roses.
Other option. He was going to be firefighter since the beginning, and yeah.
Can you guys hear her, by the way? Is she too quiet?
First responders in our community.
You had that idea in your mind of creating a firefighter skin for Lion, and now we'll have it soon in the game. Can you tell us a little bit about that process from getting the idea in your head into the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed working with the Seas team. And remember, this was before I joined the team, so I was just a fan artist. I was just a fan. They treated me like I was on-site artist, so it was a really good. It was a good taste for me to what it's like to work with the Seas team, and the 3D artist that I worked with was just amazingly talented artist.
Is that better, chat?
Really happy with the outcome. I'm glad that I got to taste that process before I joined the team.
Thank you so much for being here on the show with us today, telling us more
Dope.
about yourself and your bundle. And we're incredibly excited until the release. We can't wait to see it.
Hey, Aoki.
Thank you for having me here. I can't wait to see bundle either, and I can't wait for you to finally see my son.
We're sure you will want to know how you can get your hands on the Lion bundle and when. So the bundle will be available shortly after the release of Year 6 Season 2 next week, and it will be available via Prime Gaming, which means it will be free for all Prime members. So make sure that your Amazon Ubisoft accounts are linked, and keep an eye out on our social channels and our website for any more information about this.
Also, if you have Prime Gaming, you can get that for free. They just said, and also if you have Prime Gaming,
Hi,
you also
everyone,
can subscribe to a channel for free. And so if you haven't subscribed to a channel this month for free, I don't want to like give you any subliminal hints or anything, but I'm pretty sure you can find a person or two that you could donate to,
founder of
for
Athlete Championship Series,
with your Prime subscription.
Competitive series.
If you just have one and you haven't done anything with it, you can always throw it my way.
I know that you and the streamers had a chance to work with devs on some of the upcoming charms, but first, let's talk about your work with CCS. First and foremost, tell me a little bit about what you're doing with CCS and what it is.
We started CCS as a tournament organizer, and we've kind of grown into handling productions for different events too, or one-off needs that someone may want when it comes to putting on a
Evo, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I tremendously appreciate it. And again, closed mouths don't get fed, right? If you don't ask, it ain't gonna happen. But I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Go forth and use the emotes in my honor for both good and bad.
Years old or older.
Mostly bad.
The operational and production side, if you're worried that you have no experience, but you don't want to necessarily play any sports, you maybe want to get into commentary, you may want to get into running a broadcast, or you may even want to get into admin and community management work. I really look forward to people reaching out to me because I want to use CCS as a platform that you can get some experience and then maybe move on to bigger companies, bigger projects, really just find a sense of fulfillment in esports.
What can you share with me about any
I might need to take a look at
CCS
that.
events?
Chat, I'll be right back. I
and
need to
a
grab
little
something
bit
to drink.
maybe
Tell me what I
about
missed.
the, number of seasons that have taken place so far, a little bit of the history there.
We've had 5 seasons, and then we've also had 1 season that was focusing on women in esports, and there's also one that's coming up. I think over the course of us starting in 2017, we've had around 20 or so events, whether it's qualifiers, leagues, tournaments, charity events.
Because of the incredible work you've contributed to the Rainbow Six community, it made sense that you would become involved in working with the dev team on a
You say that's
charm.
dangerous,
As you
Evo,
know,
but that
each
means that you
season,
use my
new
emotes, which
charms
means
are
people will
added,
go, where'd you
and
get
were
that
asked to
handsome
help
emote? And
design
then
a
you send them to
charm
me and they
that,
sub, and then they get to
we are
use my
going to
emotes
get a
to do
first
horrible
look at
things.
today.
I need you to
Can you
understand,
tell me
this is a win-win
about
for me.
what that was like?
It's still pretty surreal. And when I was asked at first, I didn't reply right away just because I was shocked. I didn't think that the Siege charms would apply for us as CCS as an option. To be recognized like this is wild. I still can't get over it. I'm just really happy for people even wanting to play in CCS or to speak to us about events, not necessarily any tangible benefits or any recognition that you guys have been so gracious about. So they brought me through the design process, showing like all the different things that you could add. If you wanted it to have a little bit more depth, if you wanted to have any like distinguishing features of it, they were really cool and guiding me along the entire process.
They
It's awesome. The charm turned out great.
If
so
you are a game
congratulations
dev
on
company
that.
watching
we
this,
also have a
take
first
notes.
reveal of 2 additional
Ubisoft
charms.
does
One that Yo Boy
so
Roy has
much
done,
stuff
which you are seeing
to
right
keep their
now.
communities flowing, keep them
And
thriving,
additionally,
and to keep
one
people,
from
new
Magnet.
people coming into the game.
They both helped
Like,
design these charms.
if
with our
you
dev
if
team.
you are wanting to
And
be a
I'm
game
sure
developer,
we're all very excited to
this
see them in game
is
soon.
what
Thanks so much
this
for
is what to
joining me
follow. I think
today,
Ubisoft
and
is what to
thanks to all of
emulate.
you for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday for the
As
launch
far
of
as-
Gear 6 Season 2 North
as
Star.
far as
If you'd like to see more of this in the future, please
just
let us know.
as a
You
dev
can
company
hit
as
us
a
up on
whole,
Twitter,
if you are
Instagram,
if you're an
Reddit,
indie dev,
Discord, we're everywhere.
this is the company to follow.
So let us know what you thought of the show and what you'd like to see in future episodes. So from everyone here on the Rainbow Six Siege team, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy North Star launching this week, and we'll catch you next time.
Oh, North Star launches this week. Well, shit. That's gonna be stressful. And I think that is the show, chat. If I didn't know any better, I would say that's it. EA, no chance. Rockstar is, they put out good games, but their community support doesn't extend near as deeply. Let's do this right quick, since I'm pretty sure that this is over. So okay, let's look at some. Let's look at the 2 developers that you particularly said. See, EA is widely considered to be just evil incarnate. Like they're, I know people who say that EA stands for evil assholes because some of the things that they've done. Just, you don't have to look any further than Star Wars Battlefront 2 to show what happens when a company gets too greedy. The fact that the whole launch of Star Wars Battlefront 2 was a debacle, and that they did not do things fast enough to wash that taste out of people's mouths, and that's one of those games that you really can't screw with. 2K sports games don't sell because of EA. Sports games sell because of the sport. So they will continue to sell 2K sports games because people enjoy the sport. But remember, 2K Sports is not a EA. They are a developer and EA publishes it. And I think that now 2K might publish themselves. For EA, it's like Madden. It's not the 2K. It's sorry. Let me get unconfused. EA's games, that Madden, Live, all of those games sell because of the individual sports. There's not much, and even with that, EA fucked those things up because the Ultimate Team thing in FIFA was another just blatant money grab, right? You look at Rockstar. Rockstar has basically been using one game to fund their company for the last 7 or 8 years, maybe longer, because Grand Theft Auto Online has literally been just a money printing machine for them. But when it comes to community feedback, when it comes to how they interact with their community, there isn't much because they don't need to, right? Like Grand Theft Auto their community is unique in that they pull from so many other places that you don't have to have a centralized community for it. So those are like that. 2K, remember, 2K is not just 2K Sports. 2K is the publisher by themselves. And 2K as a publisher by themselves do an excellent job of making sure that they get that type of support to them. Bungie's in a unique situation where Bungie created a game that took off, talking about the original Halo, and they built a loyal, rabid fan base. So much so that when Halo split from Bungie, that fan base and support also kind of split, with one half going, people are still making Halo games, things are great, and the other half going, I'm following whatever Bungie does next. Then they made Destiny and they caught lightning in a bottle. And then they got stuck with that lightning in a bottle. So much so that they needed to go to Activision to help them publish, which was both a good and a bad thing. On the good side, it helped them get more support from all of the Activision like suite of like secondary studios so they could put out new stuff. But the downside is that Activision kind of pushed them into a development schedule that was unrealistic. Now that they've split off, they're doing their own thing. Again, when it comes to supporting their game, it's hit or miss, because in some cases they support some parts of Destiny 2 very well. Story content has been getting better and better. It used to be that all of the story in Destiny was in lore cards, and now you got cutscenes and live game events and things like that. But their community is very, very aggressive, right? So in some ways, they have to keep feeding that monster because that monster keeps them paid so they can continue being a small company. But on the flip side, if you keep feeding a troll, it just keeps coming back. Activision is another interesting one because Activision and Blizzard are the same thing. And on the Activision side, they're known for being kind of money hungry as a company, but they don't actively make the biggest thing that Activision is guilty of is releasing the same game over and over with a new coat of paint and expecting people to pay $60 each time. Now, this is how people commonly see it. People commonly see it as, COD is great, but it's the same game every year. And most times that's kind of true. But with Warzone, they took a risk on something, jumping into basically a pool that everyone else is jumping into and perfecting it. They made the battle royale genre something that was literally untouchable. Like, they made it a really huge deal. Hold on. Let's do that. So when they did that, they were able to... That's not what I wanted to do. They were able to kind of make a battle royale game that was awesome to see, right? And they kept iterating on it. And the biggest concern was going to be, well, what happens when you go to the newest Call of Duty game? Does all of my progression go away? And Black Ops Cold War was their chance to either fumble the ball and have people lose all respect for them, or take it to the house. And they, I think, did an excellent job of taking their free-to-play game and tying the progression of Warzone, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remake, and Black Ops Cold War all together. So if you play Warzone and you level up in Warzone and then decide to go get Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, your progression carries across. So in multiplayer, you wouldn't have to start from the beginning. If you picked up the newest Call of Duty game and wanted to play Warzone, you could still use your guns from Modern Warfare. That was an excellent, inspired decision. But by the same token, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, has been the most reviled, he's one of the more vilified and reviled gaming executives in the industry. Even though, as a person, I don't think he's too bad. But I think that he's said some things that did not age well or did not get taken well. I haven't played Knockout City, so I actually don't know anything about it. So I can't offer any opinion on that. But the reason I say to emulate Ubi is that look at it this way. I bought Rainbow Six Siege on console when it launched for $60. I bought a multiplayer only game at launch for $60 that had 2, 4, 6, 8, 20 operators. We knew that they were going to be adding in more, but I bought it on launch with the launch package. I continue to play that game year after year after year. And to show you how good a game is, if you want to know if a game is truly good, look at how many times it's been purchased. Okay? I have purchased Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And don't see that as a waste of money at all, because I've gotten to play with different groups of friends. Them adding in cross progression and cross play is a huge deal, because this means that I have all of these cosmetics on Xbox that I don't want to spend the money on again on PC that I now will have access to. Consider it this way. For those of you in chat, I want you to type in just type in yes if you have bought Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. If you have purchased Skyrim on any console, I want you to put a yes in the chat and how many times you've bought it, if you remember. Okay, I will start off, and I'm pretty sure that I have bought Skyrim at least four times. It's a lot of no's. That's surprising. Okay. Valor bought it once. C Films, no. Raisin, no. Evocracy, no. Okay. I've bought it on Xbox 360. I bought the upgraded version on Xbox One, and I bought it on Switch. So I think I bought it at least 3 times. And again, I love how all of you are saying no, so you actually are disproving the idea I have. But consider this, like, none of you have bought it. How many of you have heard of Skyrim? If you have heard of Skyrim, give me a yes in chat if you've heard of it before I mentioned it today. If you've heard of it, say yes. All right, wise ass. But again, that's one of those things that game has been released multiple times, and people continue to buy it. Every time that they've released it on a new console, they've added more stuff to it. For example, when they released it on Switch, you could get the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield from Legend of Zelda. Sold. Done. Of course. So when I say... So again, you've heard the name Skyrim, but you don't know what kind of game it is, but you've at least heard of it. So I say all that to say, if a game is good, you can get multiple purchases out of it. But in the case of Rainbow Six Siege, I played the Xbox version for 4 out of 5 years, and played it nonstop. I bought the year 5. I bought the season pass every year so that I could have the operators without having to buy them, because it's that good of a game. The next time, here's what I challenge you guys to do. And this, you don't have to do it. This is just a thing that I'm throwing out there. In about 3 months from now, go to Google and type in Rainbow Six Siege new season and try to find the developer blog where they talk about the new season. And you will see how much depth they put into it, how much communication they have with their community. And it's not just, here's patch notes for the new stuff. Patch notes, why they're changing certain things the way that they do, which a lot of game developers are really bad at. They'll go, we're changing this because you all complained about it, or we're changing this because no one complains about it. So that's kind of the minimal that you need to do. Whereas Siege will go, this is the presence of each operator in the highest ranked versions of this game. Here's their win rates. Here's how much they win. Here's how much they are selected. And based on this, we're going to tweak these operators to be, stronger, weaker, etc., etc. That's something that's a level of support and manpower that they put into a game that has been out for 5 years. I never played Raven Shield. It was never something that I was tremendously interested in. It was not until Siege that I was like, I'm all in on this game. Catan is a fun board game. There was a game that they showed off in the Ubisoft conference that is it feels like a cross between Catan and like Civ. That might be really interesting. You might want to look up C-Films. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but I know that it's German. It's by a German developer, and it's an indie game. So that might be something to take a look at if you're interested in games that emulate that style. Raven Shield was when I was doing it as an esports. I always have fondness for it. That makes sense though. That makes sense that you had a fondness for that game when it first came out because, again, you had some memory that tied to it. Often it is surprising how much love or hate for a game is tied to our personal experience. The first two games I ever remember playing as a human was The Legend of Zelda and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. And to this day, if a new Castlevania game is announced, I am super excited for it, no matter what. If a new Legend of Zelda game comes out, of course I'm excited about it. I don't like bound powers to avatars. So I get that because it makes you feel like you can't really, like it makes it feel like it's hard to balance, right? Because if a power is bound to an operator and you need it but you didn't select it before you went into the game, it becomes very difficult to balance out. For example, if you're playing Rainbow Six Siege and you don't bring anyone that can breach reinforcements, you then find yourself at a disadvantage. Now, with that being said, Evo, Ubisoft realized that was a problem. So they kept introducing new operators that could deal with hard breach, like with reinforcements. Then they added in gadgets that were secondary gadgets for some of their lower played operators that could hard breach surfaces. That's how you balance those kind of things out. And yes, it does create a meta, but most times when those metas are created, the developers behind them may not take action on them for half a year, right? Stasis has been out since fall of last year, and they have only recently nerfed it in a way that has made people feel like they've actually made a change to it. Siege makes those changes and those passes every 3 months, and actually more often than that because they have the new operation, and then they have mid-season reinforcements, which is a month and a half in, that adjusts strength of characters, strength of guns, recoil directions, things like that. Again, though, but that's just my personal opinion. I personally think that Ubisoft is one of... If I were to go and work for any game... If I could, like, snap my fingers and go work for any game dev company, I think Ubisoft would easily be in my top 3. Hands down. But again, that's all my opinion. With that being said... it is currently 2 o'clock. I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours, and I'm starving. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go find someone to raid, and I know exactly who we're going to go raid. We are going to go raid the wonderful people over at Indiecade because they gave me the opportunity to host one of their events earlier today, which was a whole lot of fun. And so to show them some support for the support that they showed me, we're going to go raid them. So I hope that you guys will stick around and hang out as the raid goes on, and maybe even stick around in the Indiecade channel for a little bit because they are a really cool organization that kind of uplifts indie developers and things like that. So with that being said, until next time, guys, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and keep those gloves up. All right, chat? Love you guys. Later.